Most people think that mountains kill only through height, avalanches, or sharp rocks. But in reality, mountains take lives when a person begins to believe they are in complete control of them. Today, we will ascend the most unforgiving mountain passes on the planet, where every meter of the way is a complex deal with the elements. One of them, the seventh on our list, does not terrify with sheer cliffs or icy ruts, but it quietly lulls drivers into a false sense of security and takes them in silence. And the answer to this riddle awaits you at the very end. Let us begin our journey in Europe, where the legendary Stelvio Pass lies hidden among majestic peaks. It is called one of the most scenic and, at the same time, treacherous mountain roads in the world. The road features 48 sharp hairpin turns, carefully laid out at an altitude of nearly 3,000 meters. Yet, it is the incredible beauty of the surrounding landscape that makes this paved serpentine deadly. It is a true distractor pass, constantly diverting the driver's attention from controlling the vehicle. A person's focus here is involuntarily divided between the flawless road surface and the hypnotizing panoramas of alpine peaks. It takes only a second of looking away at the glaciers to lose control of your trajectory. Another steep descent instantly overheats the braking system of a sports car. Mistakes here are far too costly because a deep abyss lies just beyond the thin barrier. Mountains never forgive a person for aesthetic delight when it replaces ultimate concentration. Now we transport ourselves to the harsh south of the African continent, to the Drakensberg Mountains. Here lies the Sani Pass, which is the only road connecting the isolated mountain kingdom of Lesotho with South Africa. Local border guards strictly inspect every vehicle and only allow four-wheel drive SUVs onto the route. For 9 kilometers, the road looks like a continuous obstacle course of mud and sharp boulders. Sudden waterfalls pour down from the cliffs directly onto the roofs of passing cars. Local residents climb this slope daily in old pickup trucks piled high with heavy bundles. The vehicles slowly balance on the edge of grip between wet tires and the eroded stony ground. There are absolutely no protective guardrails or barriers along the entire path. A dense fog can suddenly descend upon the mountains, completely hiding a drop-off just half a meter from the wheel. This narrow track demands surgical precision from the driver when working the pedals and the steering wheel. Deep within the majestic Caucasus Mountains of Georgia lies the Abano Pass. This dirt road has a very short active lifespan of only 4 months a year. The rest of the time, the route is buried under meters of snow and dangerous rock landslides. The pass leads to Tusheti, a unique region that is completely cut off from civilization for most of the year. The margin of error here is measured not in centimeters of pavement, but in seconds of reaction time. Mountain springs constantly erode the ground from below, turning the road into a treacherous and shifting mud slurry. Local Tushetian drivers know every dangerous contour of these harsh cliffs by heart. They move along the serpentine without unnecessary rush, treating the character of the mountain with deep respect. Any panic at an altitude of about 3 kilometers instantly turns into a tragedy. Only cold-blooded composure helps keep heavy transport vehicles from falling to the bottom of the deep gorge. The natural border between Chile and Argentina passes through the harsh Los Caracoles Pass in the Andes. This place is rightfully considered a rugged and inhospitable kingdom of heavy trucks. Enormous semi-trucks slowly slide down the steep, exposed loops without any protective barriers. The cold wind howls in the canyons, trying to blow heavily loaded semi-trailers off course. With the onset of winter, the asphalt surface of the pass becomes covered in a dangerous, thin crust of ice. A heavy, multi-ton vehicle on such a steep incline becomes almost completely uncontrollable. In such moments, drivers must rely solely on their years of experience and intuition. They keep the massive vehicles from a deadly slide into the abyss with only careful movements of the steering wheel. One wrong tap on the brake pedal can cause the truck to jackknife on a turn. Los Caracoles presents a brutal daily test, not for automotive engineering, but for human psychology. Now, we will ascend to the very roof of the world, into the majestic and cold Himalayas. Here lies the Khardung Pass, which for a long time held the status of the highest motorable road. The road climbs to an incredible height, exceeding 5,300 meters above sea level. The danger here lies not only in the stony surface, which is constantly eroded by melting glaciers. The main and most insidious enemy of any traveler in these parts is absolutely invisible. It is severe oxygen deprivation caused by the extremely thin mountain air. At this altitude, the human brain receives nearly half as much oxygen as it normally does. A driver's focus inevitably blurs, and their reaction speed drops to critical levels. Realistic auditory and visual hallucinations can appear before the eyes of an exhausted person. Khardung ruthlessly tests the physiological limits of endurance of everyone who dares to ascend here. The Bayburt Pass in northeastern Turkey is deservedly called one of the most extreme roads in the world. It consists of 29 extremely difficult loops carved into a sheer cliff face during the war. On this dirt serpentine, protective guardrails, barriers, or warning signs are completely absent. The most terrifying test begins here in the second half of the day when the weather changes abruptly. An incredibly dense fog, like a solid white wall, rises from the Black Sea into the gorge. It fills the entire space in a matter of minutes, stripping drivers of any visibility beyond their own hood. Vehicles are forced to pass each other on narrow sections only about 3 meters wide. People have to move literally by touch, intuitively guessing where the safe stony ground ends. The damp earth under the wheels crumbles easily, sending small stones directly into the deep abyss. Every turn on Bayburt D915 demands iron nerves and ultimate concentration from a person. And now we have finally come to the solution to our main riddle mentioned at the very beginning. We are at the legendary Ak-Baital Pass, located on the Pamir Highway in Tajikistan. At first glance, it seems completely safe, as there are no sheer cliffs or narrow ledges. A wide gravel road runs across a flat saddle surrounded by distant, snow-capped peaks. But it is this apparent simplicity that lulls travelers into a false sense of security, prompting them to drive faster. The altitude of Ak-Baital is a record 4,655 meters above sea level. At this altitude, the air temperature can suddenly drop below freezing even in the summer months. If a car breaks down on the pass, the diesel fuel in the system freezes in a matter of minutes. Mobile connection here is completely non-existent, and the nearest human habitation is dozens of kilometers away. Left alone with the freezing wind and thin air, a person risks quietly freezing to death inside the cabin. Danger is not always the depth of an abyss located directly beneath the wheels of your vehicle. Sometimes, a flat road is far more insidious, making us forget about elementary caution. Mountain passes clearly prove that safety lies in the constant awareness of invisible risk. Write in the comments which pass seemed the harshest to you, and stay safe on your journey.